All right, and welcome everyone to Indian Racing League. Ni hao, as they say in China, but we are in Japan for round 10 of 18 for Division 1 as usual on Saturdays. And what a wonderful, the figure of 8 track, the only figure of 8 track we have on the calendar. My personal favorite track, as now we seem to have a full grid as Ashwin Lakhwani has joined. But joining me in the comms box is Suraj, who definitely likes turn one over here. I remember a few seasons back where him and I had an incident. Suraj, welcome and hello. And how are you doing? It's been a couple of weeks since we saw you in the commentary box.
Thank you so much for that, Malav. And yes, that treacherous turn one. I remember one legendary driver who again introduced himself well enough, taking me out and yet claiming that he did not. But I am doing very well. This track, it's so enjoyable. It's a driver's track. It's so enjoyable to drive over there, and especially if you nail few corners, nothing like it. And talking about nailing the corners, I think Quick Killer has done some. He is in provisional pole for the moment, but this is not gonna stay wet in the race, Malav. It's a dry race, so I'm pretty sure all of them would have put their dry setup and would want to navigate as cautiously and as quickly as they can in this wet conditions.
That is correct. So if it is a dry race, people would be using their dry setups. PSI Legends, by the way, has made himself a habit of having some kind of incidents in Japan, and he has an incident with his teammate, Chips. They are teammates in the Alpine. They might not be teammates in this race, remember, because of a wonderful developer, which is Codemasters and now acquired by EA. We have had some kind of a glitch where the Formula 1 cars, the actual Formula 1 cars, are not really equal in performance, even if you turn that setting on, which is why we are seeing this livery and this Alpine from PSI Legends looks a little bit difficult. It seems like McLaren from Alonso, those kind of color schemes way back in 2005-6. So it will be a little bit confusing to follow the drivers around. We know a few driver pairings, but not all by heart.
And it is. What about as you were speaking, I just realized it's gonna be very treacherous for me to find who the teammate are. I think top 2 and 3 teams I would know of, but then rest all, especially with this livery.
Yeah, the livery is a bit of an issue. VFX in P2 right now is gone about 2.5 tenths slower than Redstone. The usual suspects, Redstone and VFX, topping the timing charts right now. Quick Killer in P3 has shown very good pace this season. Has a 5-second penalty, mind you, to contend with. That 5 seconds will be added to his race time because he had a collision with Basil, who is in P19 right now without a lap time. Speaking of people who are quick in qualifying, Hoshra is in P5.
And yeah, I think talking about quick qualifying, Abhishek has put his car in P3, and surely Abhishek has put himself in a mix. I've been following the races of late, and he does put himself in contention, I think, pretty much all the last 5 races.
Yeah, he has. He has been a very rapid qualifier, and even in the race as well. Has been a bit unlucky. I think he got a drive-through in one of those races. Probably it was Britain, but I'm not entirely sure. But Abhishek's Division 2 runner-up from a season or 2 back. Nova complaining in the comment section, why does it always rain? Well, Nova, it's only qualifying. We are going to have a dry race, so please stick around, and I hope that your phone has enough.
And why does Nova complain all the time? That's my question.
That's just who he is. I have stopped asking that question a long time back. But this is coming back to the point of Hush. Apparently, he's having controller issues and is going to break with his L1 button. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I hope that it is safe for people around. Caesar has popped up into P8, and next time he's starting a hot lap, maybe on a fresh set of tires. Let's go on board with him, Suraj, and take our viewers through the entire one lap around this beautiful circuit. Definitely
Mercurial Caesar, right? So I don't think he's having a mercurial lap now. He has gone through the SS just marginally faster, quicker than his previous run.
Yeah, but he has invalidated his lap time coming out of Degna 1. So it was up on his time.
it's a curve that you would want to be as cautious as you can. I mean, little more and it will bottom your car out, and as it does in real life. So I'm very happy with that. At least I would like to play a part in complementing Codemasters, at least putting some real life physics into the game, and I hope they do fix this bug. And Mercurial Caesar almost keeps his car intact, or he would have just crashed out of the quali.
Yeah, he's still alive as far as call is concerned. I was watching his teammate Sid Venkatesh, who has also invalidated his lap time. What about Tanishq Big Kiran? TBK is just through Degner 2 now. As Domithor in the chat, Domithor, I have no idea what you have just written. What language is that? Is that Japanese? Is that, I don't even want to assume what other language you are talking about, as I see an advertising board flying by. Suraj, do you have a laptop in front of you? Can you check YouTube comments, or are you just on your PlayStation?
I mean, I have just my phone where I've just opened all the teams so that I know who the teammates are and who I need to compliment and not compliment so much. But yeah, the chats are coming in PS5 for now. But yeah, I'll
All
keep you
right.
posted.
Yeah, please do that, because the only reason why I asked that is there's gonna be a football match starting at 10 o'clock, so I might be a little bit distracted. I'll
Oh
just have it open
no.
on the side. So, well, I'll be watching the race, but the comment section not so much. Another reason for me to ignore what Noah has to say. Watching Quick Killer right now. Is going to come up to the second sector split, and we'll see. By the way, Quick Killer is now a full-time driver. He is
Mhm.
going to be paired up with VFX in the Williams. Bloodwave has, in fact, moved to a reserve, and at the same time, Azun has moved to a reserve since he has moved countries. He's gone to the UK to pursue higher studies. RIP UK. But I'm not sure who's taking his place in the Alfa Romeo. But here we go. Quickly across the line. This could be an improvement. Wow, massive improvement
Does,
from
yeah.
Quickie. And
And
it's a
he was
35 1.
marginally up in sector 2, not much. Just 8,000 he was up. So I think he did gain a lot in the final sector, possibly the last, what Japanese like to call as the T curve or T section.
Yep. So Quickly up into P2. Still has some time, probably to find, and some time to put another
I think he's
lap time
gaining.
in.
He's gaining like 3 tenths in sector 1. Oh no, he's not.
It's
That's
just
code is glitch. Yeah, sorry.
probably will have a cooldown lap if he wants to come into. I mean, everyone on the grid right now or out on the track right now can come in for a fresh set of intermediate tires, especially if they're not going to use any intermediate tires in the race. Might be a good idea to lower your fuel, get a fresh set of tires, and go for a
Yeah.
run. But considering these are wet conditions, it's all about confidence. And as you said, it's a driver's track, so the more you spend time on track, the more you will gain those confidence, and you'll be able to throw your car around confidently without losing it. Is Caesar about to start his lap?
No, I think he's out on a fresh set of tires, and so is Chip Schema, who is out on a fresh set. But it's too early to be out on a fresh set, I would reckon, Malav.
They're all out on a fresh set of tires. Someone was asking me to show Redstone's lap, but it seems like Redstone has just about started his lap and losing his car at the Dunlop curve. And I think that is going to, yeah, despite losing that car, he only lost half a tenth. So he might still continue this lap, and we'll come back to that as Caesar has started his lap. And Suraj, if you can take us away.
Very well, comes in the Mercurial Caesar, takes the turn 1 cautiously, has to avoid the curves at all means in these conditions, and has a little bit of snap in the SS, at least the entry of the SS. Needs a good exit out of the final corner in the SS. You will gain a lot of time and lose a lot of time in the Dunlop curve section, as I just learn from Malav. Comes to Degna 1. He is a little out of shape and he has backed off. He has backed off. I think he has backed off.
I'm not sure if he has backed off, but let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he
Yes, he
has
has. He
definitely
has.
backed off. Now, Hushrav, by the way, in P3, Redstone is in the pits. and he might go for another run. Husrav is not improving. What about VFix? Is on out lap. Is Chips on a lap? I think Chips might have just started a lap. So while
Yes, he
Noah
has.
finds it amusing how you say his name, probably you can just say his real name, which is Sahil Suraj. We really don't want to give Noah reasons to smile or laugh. He should be sad and should be miserable all the time. Chips through Sector 1 split just about now, and he's improving on his time. And this
He
is one of those
has.
sessions. I don't know, Suraj, how much have you been following? Oh, I
Oh,
just
he
put the
takes that curve.
commentator's curse on him. But he's usually not this high up in qualifying. He's someone who starts in the bottom 10 or bottom half of the field, usually. But these wet conditions seems to suit him. But just as I said that he ultimately did have a moment coming out of second Degner. VFix has just started a
Is
lap and is through
yeah.
the SS. Let's go on board with VFix and see what kind of lines he takes. Downshifts to the fourth gear. Usually this is fifth, I reckon, in the dries, and then careful through the uphill left-hander. And now the track, now it is difficult to ride those curves. He is careful through that and downshifting to third, and then will upshift to fourth on the exit. The hairpin coming up, and you need to get your car straight before you start braking. He does exactly that, and that is a well managed corner. Goes down to the first gear, which is a bit surprising from VFX, but sticks to the right of the track to minimize his travel time or distance to the next spoon corner. Downshifts to fifth. There's a car stranded, will not really impede VFX in any way, and that seemed like a decent sector 2.
So he is up. He's up for a pole, as I calculated well. Yeah, he's up by 3/10. So that should dethrone Redstone from P1.
Well, let's see how he takes this casino triangle. Seems pretty balanced and is now on the power and across the finish line he goes. We fix it is pole position, but provisional pole, mind you. There are very quick drivers who are yet to put in their final laps. Maybe VFix can put another run just on the bounce, but he is currently clear by 2/10 on the time for Redstone, the only man in the 134, Suraj.
Only man, yes, and I think Hushraf is onto something. He is improving. Let's see how much is he improving at the end of sector 2. Oh, he's not. He has made a mistake somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, but he can
Yeah,
still probably go for
he
another
can.
run. What about Vyom? Vyom is improving as well, and let's see if he can make up a few positions. He will. He goes P2. Vyom, what a lap!
Oh, wow.
1/10 behind VFX, or rather 1.5 tenths. But that is a very good lap from Vyom. Redstone has just started his lap, so we'll keep an eye out on him. TBK has popped up in P6, so that's just a decent qualifying from him. Ethan in P7 and is still improving as the time's really tumbling now. Abhishek has a car in front of him. I think he has caught that car, who's also on an on a hot lap himself. So not a great end to the lap for Abhishek. But across the line he goes, and he still goes
Oh,
P1.
wow.
Provisional pole for Abhishek, and what could have been
And
had he
Redstone is not
not.
having a good lap. He's not having a good lap. He made a mistake and he's not improving. He was marginally up, few hundreds up on sector 1. So we have to keep an eye if Redstone can improve.
By the way, Husrav has taken the checkered flag, so that is his call done. He'll not start any higher up than P7, but I think as things stand, there might be a few drivers who might take that spot away from him. Extinct body just about invalidating his time. Chips is on a lap and there's a car in front of him, which hopefully does not. I don't think the car got in the way, but Chips probably backed out himself.
Yeah,
Caesar
done for Redstone as well.
P12. Yeah, not a good lap from Caesar. Jin is
Ah,
up by 5/10, so well, it's not gonna make him a lot of positions. What about Quick Killer? Is Quick Killer going to get any of the top three here? He just might. He's up by almost 3/10. Keep an eye out on this, Suraj. Quick Killer could be a dark horse in this race.
he can. I mean, he did show good race in good pace in last few races, but as he comes to the corner, I think he's improving a good amount. He's P3. That's a great lap by Quick Killer. Well done, buddy. Well done.
Yep, very well done indeed. What about the McLarens? Ashwin Lakhwani and Easy Level Bot. I think both of them seem to be going on a slow pace right now. So I think that's about it. Jishnu in P17. I'm not sure what happened with his qualifying there. Usually is among the top drivers or fastest drivers in qualifying as well as in race. Shooter, no, it's Domitor, right? Sharath is Domitor. Yeah, Domitor asking the weather in the race. It is going to be all dry. So, yeah, I don't think there's going to be any rain in the race. So, yeah, it should be a pretty standard one stop. But speaking of the dry strategy here, Suraj, what do you think the optimal strategy could be? Do you think people can get away with using two softer compounds? I saw a lot of people
I,
doing that yesterday.
yeah, I mean, it is possible. It is very much possible. I've seen a lot of drivers in D2 and other leagues doing that. But I think safety car is, I mean, there's a very high chance of getting a safety car in the track like Suzuka. So I think the strategy, I mean, to play safe, I would start on mediums, and if I have to be a little risky, like as Caesar is, like if he wants to gain few positions up front because it's very difficult track to overtake, not so straightforward. There's only one DRS zone in this track. I can think of starting on a soft tire, but definitely not on a hard tires.
All right, and Abhishek's taking pole from VFX, some margin between the top two. Could be a setup thing, but since everyone would know that it's a dry race, I think everyone would be running those dry setups and the wings accordingly. Quick Killer and Vyom in P3 and P4, Redstone P5. That seems unfamiliar territory for him. Ethan in P6, Hushrav in P7, Quick Killer, Jin in P8, TBK in P9, and then Basil rounding up the top 10. But what a race we have in store here. And speaking of the championship, Suraj, it is really hotting up. 18 points separate the top four drivers. Hushrav is leading the championship standings at 112 points. That's thrown up a further 6 points behind, and then a further 9 points behind is VFX, followed by Caesar, who's 3 points behind VFX in P4. So half the season gone, and 9 more races to go, including this one, and we have quite a few sprint races as well. So plenty of opportunities for the for the points table to completely topple and change. I hope Basil can join soon because we don't have a formation lap, remember, because of the glitch. So we'll be racing right away as soon as the timer counts down to 0. We can talk about championship standings a little later, and it's time for the race start.
Yeah, and I hope Basil doing that doesn't glitch the lobby. There's a possibility if and as I say, Basil has joined.
Yeah,
I
he has
hope it
joined,
doesn't
but
glitch.
it might not glitch, but I don't know if Basil will be able to
And he has left.
I'm not sure if he'll be able to cut control of his car. But 5 lights on the grid and lights are out, and we are underway already. VFX doesn't seem to have gotten the best start, and he might be under attack from Quick Killer. No, Quick Killer does settle in P4. P3, Redstone Duff battling URL Ethan, and I think Redstone Duff has in fact gotten ahead of Vyom here. So it's a good start by the top 2 and the top 3 retaining positions. Further behind, Hushrav losing a lot of positions and is now in P9, has been overtaken by TBK and now is challenged by Extinct Body. And I think there was some contact there. There's still cars going side by side through Sector 1. Always very nervous as people do that as a steward and as a commentator. It seems like Extinct Body has settled in P12. Up ahead, the gap is decreasing between Redstone Derp and Quick Killer. So Redstone Derp, while he might not have been the fastest driver in the wet qualifying session, it seems like he has some pace up his sleeve when the sun is out and the track is bone dry.
Yeah, and I think Hushrav had a little bit of wheel spin at the start. He was overtaken quickly by Ethan, going side by side into turn 1. So not a good start by Hushrav. And again, as you say, it's an unfamiliar territory for Hushrav. Down in P9.
Down in P9 as I'm sorry to just scream over the top of my voice as Redstone runs into the back of Quickler, almost sends into a half spin. but nothing doing as Jishnu has at a moment it seems and is down, is in last place as Redstone overtakes Quick Killer, who does not really put up a fight. So let's have a look at the tires now. We have, as we can see, Redstone, that explains the pace. He's on the soft tires.
Yep.
As opposed to VFix and Abhishek's on the mediums. You can see a few soft tire runners. So D1 definitely taking notes from the Division 2 race last night, and Redstone quickly on the back of his championship rival and championship rival from last season as well, VFix. As TBK is retired and Jin has
TBK
retired. That could be a safety car. It is a safety car.
It is a safety
and
car.
I don't know what happened there. Both the cars. What has happened there? The exit of the Dunlop curve, the uphill left-hander before they approach the Degners, and we have 2 casualties already. It's been 1.5 laps, and we have a safety car, Suraj.
Yes, and I think it's the likes of Redstone, Quick Killer, Ethan would be really glad that it came out. So they are getting at least 2 laps more running than what they had planned. So they can easily stretch it to lap 11, lap 12 and put on a fresh set of mediums. But Caesar on a hard tire now. So, I mean, he is... Obviously, the race will come back to him in 5 to 6 laps more. But then by that point of time, Abhishek, Vifix, Redstone, they would have would be long gone. So, not sure what is he planning. So, but I hope he pulls out something out of his bag, and he needs to. He is down, and he needs that win. Everybody has won around him. That win is still pending. So,
it's been a while since Caesar was on the top step of the podium, and it's an interesting choice for him as well as Sonic Hawk to start on the hards, especially since we realized last night that you can get away with using the 2 softer compounds on this track. The tire wear is not that high unless, of course, you are running different tire pressures, which will change the way the circuit degrades your tire. But well, we'll see. Maybe Caesar has something else up his sleeve, and maybe because he's on the hards, he can push that and lean on his tires more than other drivers, and that could really bring him up to some speed here. But yes, there were a few drivers who did pit. 3 of them, which is Bharat, Jishnu, and Baz. All of them were in the bottom of the field anyway. So I'm not sure what was the logic there. But Baz also going on the hard. So we have 3 hard runners now, and it still surprises me that because the delta is quite a bit. I think it's just about tire temperatures where hards can really help manage those temperatures, especially in sector 1 when you're swinging your cars left and right.
So the hards over here are the C1, so they need the optimum temperature for the C1 says 100 to 110 degrees. So I mean, the safety card will help them to brake drag and up the temperatures, but it's not so easy in this game. As I mean, that's what I feel, to keep the temperatures up with minimum or as low as pressure as people would want to run.
Right, so everyone has bunched up, but I think the safety car might go on and go around the track for one more lap before it decides to come in. So we'll have one more lap under the safety car. Nova, if you're watching, I hope you're happy. You always love these safety cars, but let's see. That's a good livery by Abhishek. And by the way, what a brilliant livery, Suraj, for you and Raman yesterday. The only reason why I could identify Raman as my teammate in the garage was because that livery was so spot on. It felt like an actual Mercedes. So good job on that. I don't know if Abhishek is using, and Redstone for that matter, using the same livery as yours.
Oh, they are not. They are not. I mean, yeah, we did learn a thing or two about the livery while we were making one. It was, I mean, just a half an hour thing, but I think the understanding between both of us is pretty strong. I mean, we just instantly liked it. And one thing for the livery, do not go for the gloss finish or the metallic. Please go for matte. The color seems way off on track as it seems in the showroom. So, talking about the liveries, I mean, I did not get a chance to look at the liveries for D1. So let's take a stab at it and see which team has put. I mean, I can see Williams are have their Gulf livery on. I don't know how do you get those Gulf livery. Like, do you have to do some sort of
I don't know. It might
F1
be in the
course?
championship edition of the game. Jishnu,
Has retired? Why?
it's on track. What happened to him under the safety car?
It is in Degna 1, so it's a right-hander. I'm not sure how can he retire over there. But
Maybe just took too much curb and well, it's the Ashwin corner. If you remember your IRL history, Suraj, you would know the Degner 2 where his controller just gave up and he was penalized heavily for that because that caused the safety car. But this is under the safety car and just who was at the. I don't know. I really have to. I would want Jishnu to share his onboard with us later on. But service resumes for the rest of the pack, and safety car is in this lap.
yeah, and
So
Basil is an Alfa Romeo livery. Is that possible? He's spotting an Alfa Romeo all-in kick.
well, let's see. The safety car is in this lap. I'm on board with Redstone. Abhishek will lead the drivers around for this circuit, and
He's
Redstone
on.
would be
He's
ready to
gone.
go, and is gone. He has gone, and there's a good gap to V6 already 6 tenths between the pair of them and Redstone. Let's see if we can make any
Pushrov on
inroads.
Vyom. Pushrov on Vyom. It's side by side, and I think Vyom just lets him by.
Yeah, Vyom
That
does let Hushrav go, so Hushrav is back into P6. I thought he would be under pressure, Hushrav, from chips, but he had another ideas as, of course, Barcelona concedes a goal, and now my mood is ruined. But Redstone on the back of VFX once again, and he's literally pushing VFX through those S's. He'll have to be careful under braking here, and I hope that there is no incident between these two drivers as VFX loses his car a little bit. He's a bit out of shape coming out of Tegner 2, and now Redstone has a real opportunity. He might just go down the inside, and they are side by side. Let's see who gets a better traction. Theoretically, it should be Redstone, but VFX having the outside line does manage to keep his nose in front, and now Redstone is fully behind. Let's watch on board from Quick Killer and have a good vantage point of this battle.
and Chips. I think Chips might have a go at Vyom at the end of 130R. But no, I think he backs off. He's not using his battery as intended to. Caesar and Extreme Body. There's a sizable gap between P10, P11. I think these guys from P2 to P10 for that matter are on the DRS range. But
By the way,
I think
Redstone has overtaken VFX, and now VFX, it's a Mercedes 1-2, and Hushrav is on the back of Ethan. So Ethan was almost about to overtake Quick Killer there at 130R, but he just got too close to the car, so he had to back out of that, and that has brought Hushrav in the back of it. But what a brilliant restart from Abhishek! 1.5 seconds plus worth of lead.
yeah, and Redstone would want to use all the soft tires, the grip available from those C3 tires to his liking, because DRS will be activated next lap onwards.
It will be, as Quickle is the next car trying to have a go at VFX. So those soft tires definitely have that advantage right now, and they might do for the next couple of laps at least, if not more. But Quickle will have to be careful because Ethan is just about in that striking distance, and if Quick Killer gets a corner or two wrong, Ethan will be right up on his tail.
Yeah, and I think Caesar is closing on Chips. Chips had sorry, had a moment out of the spoon, and looks like Caesar is close. Is it close enough? No, and not so much, but it is quite close for fight for P2.
Right, but here goes Caesar now. He just might go for a move. I think it's very, very close, but he runs out of straight. to actually go for an overtake, and he sticks behind in P9. He doesn't necessarily needs to overtake Chips here. Chips is on the soft tire, so will be thinking of quitting in the next 4 to 5 laps. So Caesar can just be a little bit patient and stick around, and then he will have free air and take care of his tires and battery at the moment. Up ahead, Abhishek extending his lead over Redstone. So Redstone, despite being on those soft tires, he's not been able to catch up. And as it stands, it seems like Abhishek is controlling the race.
It is, and I think Caesar might think of overtaking Chips, because if Chips is not in DRS and is not making inroads in with Vyom, that might not help Caesar, because he wouldn't want to fall like 3 and 4 seconds of the off from Vyom. And as we speak, Chips is out of the DRS range, and Caesar is close enough. He's going, and he tries to make a move in the inside. Is Chips coming back? No, he's not coming back. So that's a move done, and as we speak, Caesar would want to push as hard as possible to be in the DRS range of those trains ahead.
Yeah, and here goes VFix on Redstone now. So Redstone, after having overtaken, has not really been able to make any sort of inroads, and further behind it is Hushrav and Ethan who are going side by side, and Hushrav I think still stays behind, but it was pretty close between them for the battle for P5. But VFix has overtaken Redstone, so it seems like now is the time where the crossover period has begun, and the medium tires are the faster tire between them and the softs. Oh, there's someone
Yeah,
going wide there. I think it was Redstone. I think he almost went onto the grass. So that would really interest Quick Killer into going for a move. Quick Killer just a few tenths behind him.
yeah, and I think we missed. PSI was trying to make a move on easy level into turn 1. They did come side by side, but crucially, PSI backed off at the right moment, and easy level goes a little wide. Bharat has caught up, and he's on medium tires, so I think he would want fancy a chance making a move on PSI, who's again on soft tires. His tires would be coming off as we speak in this lap. So the battle is on for down the grid as well, Malav.
It absolutely is, and the battle is on for P4 as well. The top, I mean, except for Abhishek, everyone
Oh,
else. Oh,
PSI! And
PSI!
see the same 130R, no! But no, not much of damage done this time around. So I think lesson learned for PSI. He was trying to make a move around the outside of 130R, but he had enough space left for easy level. But crucially, they went unscathed, so that's a good sign. And talking about good signs, I think Vyom and Hushrav, they are working in formation, I'm guessing. And as I speak, Vyom has a moment in the Dunlop curve, breaks off the board, and breaking the board is so disheartening. I mean, talk about
Yeah,
breaking
for
the
you.
board. I struggled so much in the race yesterday because of that. But do not break the boards, guys. Do not. Redstone is close enough, just 3 tenths behind Vifix. Vifix again is 2.5 seconds. So Abhishek's keeping tabs on his time, and not close enough for Redstone to make a move. But is he gaining? Is slightly gaining, marginally gaining, not using the battery. So
He doesn't need to
I
use his
think.
battery right now. I think he'll wait Redstone
Oh, he's
for
close
the.
enough. It's just 110, 2 tenths. Will he make a move now? No, he does not. He waits, I think, for the DRS to come in play. Needs a good exit out of the final corner. Has a moment, not the traction that he would have liked. But I don't think he's going to make a move into turn 1. But is he under attack from Quick Killer? He is, but he has got DRS covering him off at the moment.
Yeah, so that loss of traction, momentary loss of traction coming out of the final corner was in fact probably the reason. Oh, as Bharat and it was
Easy
easy
level
level
and
bot and
PSI.
PSI were going side by side through turn 1, and that braking zone is a bit weird because different drivers continue to brake at different points in time, and Well, for now they both live to fight another day, but Redstone, despite being overtaken by VFix, is still hanging around, and Abhishek has that healthy lead of 2.5 seconds. Seems like, barring any other mishaps, Redstone is in good position to take the checkered
He
flag
is.
as
He just needs
the
to
leading
survive
driver.
3 more laps, and then it's good to put on those set of mediums.
Well, Abhishek needs to put on a set of softs and not mediums, but yes, Redstone, you are right.
Redstone, yeah.
Probably lap 12 or lap 13 is when he would think of pitting. Is again less than 3 tenths behind VFX, and if he does not make the same mistake of, or is he going for a move right now? No, he's not. But if he does not make the same mistake of losing the power at the exit of the final corner, he will have VFX behind his mirror by the
Yes,
time they break
that's
for
a
turn
good
1.
exit.
Yeah, good exit from him, and VFix, I don't think it's going to fight that too much. It's going to be an easy move for Redstone, and he takes his P2 back, and as it stands, seems to be the one who's winning this battle, because remember, when the cars are lighter, it is going to be Redstone who's going to be on the softer tires.
Redstone on the medium tires. Vifix will be on a softer tire.
Yeah, sorry, I am a little distracted as I said, completely missed that, but yes, you're right. It will be Redstone on the mediums and VFix on the softs. So VFix still seems to have the upper hand, but it is a bit surprising that Redstone still has the pace, despite being on those worn out tires,
What a guy.
to compete. So what a yeah, exactly, a lot of pace he has gained in the past season or two, after being promoted from Division 1, Division 2. So let's keep an eye out on him, and has missed a couple of races this season, otherwise he could have been the one to lead the championship. But nonetheless, as PSI gets a 3 second time
Second
penalty,
warning.
and it's the only one with a penalty right now. So as things stand, that doesn't hold good for his races. Ethan is trying to overtake Quick Killer and had to lift at 130 hours so as to avoid running into the back of the car, which is supposed to be a Williams. And let's see if Quick Killer can now overtake his teammate. I don't think he'll be able to do that, considering VFX will have DRS. But Vyom on the back of Hushrav, and I think Vyom is going to make the move.
I mean, the favors are returned in lap 12, but Khushrov, not sure. I mean, he's not a guy who should be a P7 after 12 laps, so I think something is wrong with his
Yeah, we'll
setup,
mention
maybe, or
that.
the confidence.
No, it's just that his controller is
The braking, yeah.
broken. Not broken, but it's the brake button is not working. So he does need to be a little bit careful on the brakes, and I can't imagine using that button which he is apparently using to brake. So that's the overtake button, by the way, for people who race on controllers and with default settings. But right, so lap 12, do you think this is the lap where Redstone will pit, or do you think he'll wait for one more lap? The field is not really spread out, so if if Redstone pits right now, he will be encountering.
He'll come on P13 behind Sid Venkatesh. It's a 26 lap, 26 seconds pit stop. So, or 21 is what the pit loss time is. So
Yeah,
I
but
think
either
around
way,
about
even if he
P12.
comes out between Sid Venkatesh and Sonic Hawk or behind Sid Venkatesh, he will encounter some traffic.
He
So you
will,
might want
yes.
to wait for a lap and then go in. And yes, he does stay out. Abhishek stays out as well, obviously, and well, they'll sort out the pit stops after a few laps. Is Hushrav under attack from Caesar? No, not really. Caesar few car lengths back. So on those hards, once again, Caesar not really making a lot of impressions, but because he did get past chips. So he's in a P8 right now and can comfortably put on the soft tires when he wants to pit.
Yeah, and I think the soft tires have gone completely. Ethan struggling in the SS and exit of the SS. He has to use battery to compensate his lap. So I think the likes of Quick Killer and Ethan, they have a chance to maybe be a little ahead of the likes of Vifix and Redstone. If they choose to pit now, there is a yellow flag, and I hope it's not a crash. And then I could see a car, and that's Ashwin Lakhwani in Audi Sport livery, and our champion, our inaugural IRL champion, is not having a good race, and I think he has not having good race for quite some time now.
We fix on the back of Redstone. He has to be careful on the brakes as he is. I think this is the lap where Redstone will pit, and he does
And
pit.
he
V6 has
goes.
to lift off to allow Redstone into the pits. It was way too close, and we almost had a deja vu moment from Bahrain between these two. But Redstone finally in. So is Ethan. No, in
Quick
fact,
killer.
Ethan stays out. Quick killer is
Quick
in,
killer is in.
and I don't know who the teammate of Ethan is for this race at least. But this will not go down for Ethan. I think he'll lose a lot of time staying out on those worn soft tires.
Yeah, and I don't think Ethan would know as well who his teammate is. I mean, it's so random.
Yeah, it is random, and you really need to be working hard to find out who your teammate is. Otherwise, you
That's
won't
right.
know that.
Redstone
So,
and Sid Venkatesh. Crucially, Redstone was just ahead of Sid Venkatesh
and
when
it's
he
gone
came
on
out of
this,
pits.
gone on the
Hard
hard
tires.
tires, and I'm not sure why. Could he have
Why
not
would
gone on the mediums?
maybe he would want to push and I don't know. I mean, it would take like good 3 laps for him for his tires to warm up as well. Those are hard tires, the hardest
And
compound in the Formula One, so it will take some time.
And Husrav, by the way, has overtaken Vyom. Quick killer Caesar is following suit. But before that, let's see if Abhishek and VFX are going to pit. I think it will be a lap or two before they finally come in. So let's stick with this battle between Vyom and Husrav. They're both on the exact same tire life and the same compound of tire. And you can see behind them Caesar and Extinct Body being very, very close. And Vyom decides to pit. Vyom has taken the decision to pit, and I think Ethan is finally in as well. So let's see where they come out, especially Vyom, in comparison to the likes
Ethan
of.
has put on mediums, yeah.
Yeah, good decision by Ethan to go on the mediums. Vyom on the softs. They have to go 13 laps, and if they went 12, 13 laps for Redstone on a heavier car, I think on lighter fuel, the softs would just about make it to the end. Vyom comes out behind Sid Venkatesh. Ethan is ahead of Sid, but both of them crucially behind Redstone. So Redstone still has a 2 second gap ahead of him, and he can push as long as he can and he wants. But as things stand, it seems like VFX might just end up behind Redstone. In fact, let's have a look at the gap. So Redstone is 24 seconds behind Abhishek, which puts him around 19 to 20 seconds behind VFX. So VFX will have to make this overtake on track on Redstone. He'll be on the
Yeah.
soft, so he'll have a lot of grip, but he's not going to have it easy.
And I think this is the lap where Abhishek can think of pitting because if he does, he comes just ahead of SFR Sonic Hawk. And if he, I mean, and that's the position that everybody would want to come in because there's a train of cars just behind Sonic.
Yeah, but both of them continue on for one more lap. And now Husrav might be under attack from Caesar to get an overtake done. Caesar is gaining, and is gaining, and is now
And he
finally
makes a
ahead
move.
of Husrav. So Caesar up into P3, but it's not net P3. And
I
well,
mean,
let's.
look at the car livery. Absolutely zero effort that these guys had put in. Red Bull Max Verstappen car. So I think the Red Bull guys are sporting that livery. And Caesar, let's talk about Caesar. I mean, what can he do now? I mean, if he goes to pit now and he has to put on a set of soft tires, that would put him right in P11. So P11, so I think, and he has to overtake all the cars now.
He has to, and which is what is going to be difficult for him. Despite being on the soft, this is a track which is not very easy to
Yep.
overtake on. So it will be difficult, and he's hounded by Extinct Body right now. So Extinct Body's mediums are holding up better than Caesar's hard tires. Hushrav might be coming in for a pit stop, but so might be Abhishek. Will see what the race leader does. Think it is time for him to pit, and he does pit.
Yes,
So that is
it's
him
gonna be
in
very
for a
close
set
with
of
him and
softs,
Redstone. It's gonna be very
and
close with him and
VFX
Redstone at the
is
exit.
VFX is pitting as well. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Is that Ashwin again? It is Ashwin again, and oh my god, that is really unfortunate for him. VFX, by the way, where
Yeah,
is
and let's
VFX?
have an eye on Abhishek. Redstone will be very close to him, and let's see where Redstone is. He's coming in the pit straight, and so is Abhishek. So it's gonna be neck on neck with him as we see, and Redstone is ahead of him crucially, but on hard tires. So Abhishek will fancy making a move in a lap or two.
And look at VFX, how much time he has lost. He has come out behind Sonic Hawk, but Sonic Hawk is yet to pit, but behind Ethan and Quick Killer. So both Ethan and Quick Killer have undercut VFX. VFX on the softs, so that is a tire advantage. But we just spoke about how notorious this track is for overtaking, and I think Sonic Hawk just lets VFX through there. So that's one down, but two more to go at least. VFX would want to finish at least P2 in this race, considering Redstone is on the hard tires.
He is, but then the problem is he has to overtake Quick Killer, Ethan, and Abhishek to be there.
Yeah, and well, Quickle is his teammate, so I'm not sure how much. I mean, he's entitled to fight them. We have seen VFix getting a lot of heat from his teammate earlier, so I'm not too sure if Quickler will give him a wide berth. And Quickler himself is in a battle with Ethan, so these two are on more or less the same strategy. So
The
if
top three
Quickler
pit.
lets
The top three pit. I hope there is no double stack happening. On the garage, at least not for the top three guys. So let's
nope,
see where
not
they
in
are
top
put in.
three.
Soft tires as is expected for all three of them. Reston takes the lead. Abhishek is behind in the DRS range. So teammates, the Merc 1-2, the OP Mercs of Division 1 are playing it quite well.
Yeah, and it helps in the constructors' points table as well. They are for right now 11 points behind Williams, which is Quick Killer and VFX. But they had a 40-point swing, Suraj, in Singapore. Williams did not score any points last weekend. And well, just as I said that, oh, yellow flag, and I almost thought it was because of Quick Killer, but there's an Aston Martin kind of a car going slowly. Quick Killer, by the way, has let VFX through, and that has Caesar, by the way, on the softs and has come out in P6. Very good job from Caesar. There's still some yellow flags there, but it seems like he has survived. And well,
but
let's see.
He is followed very closely by Hushraf, so we'll have to see. These two had a bit of friendly romance and romance in past few races. So hope no RJ Baji this time around. They play it well and they have a shot in the podium.
Yeah, by the way, there have been a few exchanges in positions. Abhishek has taken the lead of the race from Redstone. So Redstone has put absolutely no fight there. And Ethan has let... that's... Ashwin Lakhwani retired. Oh, that's in the pits. But now Ethan is now being overtaken by VFX. So VFX up into P3. Now, are Mercedes going to play the team game? Are they going to... Oh, Vyom has a penalty. VFX makes a mistake.
Oh, no, VFX. But I think, yeah, that's 7 seconds of the lead, 8 seconds of the lead. So, 8 laps more. There is still a chance for him to take P2 positions, but I think Abhishek has to play a science kind of game for Mercedes to have
I think Abhishek will. I mean, if I think they are in the same party chat, Abhishek and Redstone. So, well, of course they are teammates. So, I believe Abhishek will continue to give DRS to Redstone and protect him, because without the help of the DRS, Redstone will be really vulnerable on those hard tires.
Yeah, but he has 3 seconds gap. So Ethan is quick driver, and so is Redstone. So I think we'll know maybe next 2-3 laps. But you know what can change the game at the moment? It is a safety car. If there's a safety car, Redstone will be damn pissed and damn angry.
Well, let's see. Currently, Codemasters have no plans to piss off our world champion or
Extend on,
IRL
extend
champion.
very close to Hushraf. Extend very close on Hushraf. Will have the DRS. He would fancy making a move. It's gonna be a straightforward move. And Hushraf will be will be feeling gutted just using this L1 for his braking. But I hope he comes back strong next race. But he's not having the race that he would fancy. Talking about fancying, I think extend body is 1.5 seconds behind Caesar, right? And so is Hushraf. Do you reckon Caesar having a go at maybe likes of Quick Killer in 5-6 laps of time? They have a 4-lap advantage, and Caesar on a softer tires.
It is possible, but at the same time, the softs will start dying out in a few laps. So while Caesar might be able to catch up
And Quick
and
Killer makes a mistake as we speak. He out of spoon, and I think he would have lost some time to Caesar now over there.
he has lost about 8 tenths to Caesar.
Yeah.
So no, and more time. So that mistake which he did, I think, is the fault of that or the effect of that is being carried through the entire third sector, which is basically a straight with just one corner, which is 130R, which is taken flat as Baz overtakes PSI Legends at the exit of the spoon and is up
PSI.
into P12 for Baz.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what would PSI feel every time he crosses 130R. He
I
would
think
be.
he's gonna get flashbacks of that incident with Racing Gupta every time he does that. But not a good race for Baz. He's usually among in the top 10, but this time around it's not been quick enough. Himanshu asking why are drivers using custom liveries. Himanshu is because there is a glitch in the game that the cars, even if they are real life F1 cars, if the drivers use those cars, the performance is not really equal. I hope I am right in describing that glitch. I'm not sure exactly what's the glitch, but I think it affects car performance somehow. It's not exactly
Yeah, it does. It does.
equal performance.
It's quite significant over a race distance.
Right. So, which is why the drivers are using custom liveries. And well, next week we have a break in Indian Racing League. So, by the time we are back in about 15 days time, let's hope that this glitch is resolved and we can see our actual F1 liveries on screen. And yes, Himanshu, it happened in PSL. It has more or less happened across all leagues because it's just inevitable that a glitch will occur when a new update is released.
Basil closing on easy level. Might fancy a move in the final corner. Oh, don't do a Mayank, Basil. Don't do a Mayank. Oh, yeah, he does not. So,
talk us through those incidents, Suraj, considering what happened between you and Mayank. And it seems like you, the two of you, have now had a habit of banging into each other. It happened in Bahrain and now it has happened over here. But walk us through that last corner incident. Not the last corner, but the casino triangle incident.
The triangle section. I'm not sure. I mean, I was on the outside and there was enough gap. I was hoping he would not make a move because we all were staying behind Vicky, who was closing on Dobithor P3. So I thought that he would use his brains to understand that why am I not overtaking Vicky. And he thought that I was slow and he went for a move, but I think he just took his car way towards the left side of the track, and I could not brake, and he also could not brake as well as he would want it. So I'm not sure. I think Mayank has is trying to get the God mode again. But I think we should not have much more incidents. But if we do, then we know what's going to happen to Mayank.
And what is that? An all expenses paid Dubai trip once again is what he'll pay for those incidents.
But by the way, I don't mind. I will take him to Dubai and thrash him out for the things that he is doing. But elbows out is he going this season? But then if he does, then I think elbows out needs to be there from the other side as well. And talking about elbows out, extreme body is going on Caesar. He's very close and he's been behind the gearbox of Caesar for quite some time. Obviously, you need at least 2.5 second advantage on the car ahead to make a move, especially with the nature of Suzuka. But quick killer, Caesar, extend body, it's feisty, and Hushrav is just behind. I'm not sure how confident is Hushrav making a move with the handicap controller that he has, but he makes a move on extend body. But extend body will have a good traction out of that hairpin corner, and he will try to make a move, deploying all the battery as he can, and he's ahead of Hushrav. But Spoon, I think this is where we see a lot of guys struggling. Takes a bit of curb, does extend, should not hamper his traction, but it is feisty. It is feisty for Battle of P5.
Yeah, it was pretty close between Extend Body and Caesar. In fact, Caesar had to probably use his battery to get ahead or get alongside or very close to Quick Killer to get into DRS, because Extend Body would have been in his DRS otherwise. But on this lap, Caesar has not really gotten a great exit. It's a mediocre exit, and Extend Body is using his battery to get in front. Caesar's red light is flashing, which is
deploying all the battery as he can. Caesar,
it's not going to be pleasant, and Quick Killer just about hangs on to P5. It's a good defense from Quick Killer, and I think an incident is brewing here, Suraj. I have a feeling that something's going to happen.
As a steward, you are getting one more noted incident, but crucially, Extend Body was good to react, and between all that chaos that happened in turn 1. But Hushrav is very close. I'm not sure with all those handicap he is as today, but he's looking feisty. He's trying to make a move now, and I know it is final few laps. He would want to make as much positions as he can, but Quick Killer is struggling somehow. But Quick Killer has got pace. He has got some battery left, good chunk of battery to make some defense, and that's how he's keeping his car ahead.
Yeah, and further ahead, VFix not really been able to close up to Redstone, because Redstone has been getting DRS on all laps from Abhishek. So VFix not really getting close, and as it stands, it seems like
Quick Killer goes wide. Quick Killer goes wide. He has collected some marbles, and now this should be the lap where Caesar gets a nice slipstream. I'm not sure why he needs to deploy any battery, but he does so, and in the process goes ahead of Quick Killer, who again Extend Body trying to go on a move on the Quick Killer and goes wide in the process. Invites Hushrav to take the position, and Hushrav up to P7, and Quick Killer just loses one position and is in P6.
Yeah, and now we'll see a few retirements coming, since we are on lap 25 of 27, which means there is absolutely zero chance we will get a safety car now. So the drivers will have to battle it out on the track. Vyom has retired in the pit lane. Basil still going around and probably now trying for a fastest lap. So is PSI. But Hushrav and Quick Killer. There is some contact between the two of them, and
Extend would want to make as much as it. He is going to the grass, loses the grip. You can't take grass in this game, and he makes a move on Quick Killer. I'm not sure if Quick Killer conceded that position from whatever thoughts he had, but Hushrav is struggling, and now Extend Body is deploying all the battery as he can and is trying to tuck behind Hushrav, and is gaining on 130R. Will he try to make a move around the outside and the inside? No, he does not, but he does make the move stay, but I think Extend will also have the DRS. No, Hushrav has got the DRS, so and he's out of the battery. His light is blinking, so that's pretty much done and dusted for Caesar, I would say. P5 sorted for now. 2 more laps. He should hold his P5 for now, and I think the action is all around P6, P7, P8, or is it for P1, P2? You think Redstone would fancy a chance on Abhishek in the final lap?
I don't think so. I think Abhishek and Redstone, Abhishek is probably doing Redstone a favor right now by keeping him in DRS. So I think they are going to hold station, the Mercedes. And yes, you are right. Caesar has gotten away from this battle because the three of them, which is Hoshrav, Extinct, and Quickiller, were so involved in gaining those positions over each other that they let Caesar go. And now, with just one lap to go, Caesar should finish in P5 unless he makes an error of sorts or someone else ahead of him has made a mistake. You are a Lethan, by the way, 7 tenths behind VFix. Do you think he can probably go for a move? I think he's a bit too far back. It's just
It's too
one
far and he's out of battery.
shot.
He's out of battery.
There's no battery to play with either. So as Abhishek is going to start the last lap of the race, what a brilliant drive it has been from him. Took the pole position, got a decent start, was ahead into turn 1, and has managed his pace from start to finish, and has helped his teammate in the process get a 1-2 for Mercedes. That is really going to help them and might even get them in the
is
lead
getting
of the
close to
championship.
extend body. Yeah, Ustra was very close to extend. Fancied a chance, but I think his next realistic opportunity would be the triangle section on the exit of 130R. So keep an eye on Hushraf. He might fancy go at extend. And extend is, I think the battery position is similar on both of them. Bharat is down in P10, but he might lose the position. No, he does not. He just had a moment, and Basil, as we speak, goes for the fastest lap. So Hushraf on extent, I think that's the one battle you have to watch out for. But up ahead, Redstone is 2 tenths ahead of it, and he backs off crucially. And I think it is returning the favors to Abhishek. And as we speak, I think
URL battle returns the session casually after getting the fastest lap, but it's going to be Abhishek's.
And they are finishing in formation.
Yeah, it's a good formation
That's a solid
finish.
1-2.
It's
And
VFix takes
goes
P3.
VFX P3.
Ethan P4. Caesar will cross the line now in P5 with Extinct in P6. Hushram in P7. Very close battle between these four drivers, between P5 to P8, as Quick Killer also takes a checkered flag. Chips, a good in a silent race from him, no real shenanigans in P9, takes 2 points. Bharat takes P10 and he will retain his P10 despite having the time penalty. Sonic Hawk not really in the scheme of things, failing to score a point in P11. Easy level bot, the only finishing McLaren in this race. Almost thought he was heading for the barrier there, but does keep the car on the track and takes the checkered flag in P12. Sid Venkatesh P13, and I think it was PSI Legends who will finish ahead of Baz. But what a race overall, and Mercedes domination. It felt like I was in 2020 for a moment, considering the Mercedes were really helping out each other and good pace and quick VFix without having a second driver to help him there. Quick Killer was busy battling other people, really didn't stand a chance in the second stint.
And now are they ahead now in the championship
I think they would be. I'm not sure of the math right now, but they might be ahead. If at the same time, if we can invite.
I have done that. I've done that before. Yeah, I've done that already.
Right, but I think it's pretty likely that Mercedes will take the lead
in
the championship.
They are ahead now. So that's 33 points for Mercedes and a Quick Killer 4. So yeah, they are ahead, and as we speak, both Mercedes drivers are in the party chat. And congratulations, Mercedes, you are ahead in the championship right now. So before we start our podium interviews from both of you guys, how does it feel?
Feels quite nice. Yeah, it was a fun race. It wasn't ideal. I messed up quali, but yeah, overall for the team, very good, very strong result. Very happy.
And to both of you, which is the better Merc livery? Is it Div 1 or Div 2?
Div 1, sorry.
Yeah, Div 1.
Okay, I am
No,
judging the
no
mock
conflict
drivers.
of interest while answering that question from Redstone. But while we have your Redstone, I'm not sure if VFix has joined, so let's start with you. You did mention quali, and that was something which we would have asked anyway. Take us through your qualifying. What happened there? I think you started in P5, which is, as we discussed on the commentary, it's unusual territory for him, for you, to start in P5. So was it a setup thing, or did you just not get your laps right?
No, firstly, like the quali, I would say the first lap was quite nice. Then the second run I went on, like in the second set of inters, I was actually improving. I was gaining like 3 tenths, so that would have guaranteed me like, and I still had to round up the final two corners. I'm sure I would have gained 2 tenths, so that would have been enough for the front row. But I thought it's okay to box and take the fresh set of inters and go out, and I made a lot of mistakes, tried clawing back the time, but that was it. And I knew I had pace in the race, so I was just trying to. P5 wasn't too bad, and I knew I could overtake here. And the undercut is quite powerful, so. And I actually wanted to go on the mediums, but I selected the softs by mistake, tried to maximize what that was available. And first stint was quite hard, but when I bolted the hards on, like it was quite straightforward. Good teamwork with Abhi. I could have passed him, but I was like, okay, he was on pole, he deserved to win, and it's been a while since he stood on the top step of the podium, and we just wanted to maximize results, and he was the better driver today. So
Abhishek,
very
taking
happy,
his
and congrats to VFix as well. Enjoyed the battle without like too much going on there. He drove a good race as well, and very happy. Good race.
I breathed a sigh of relief when VFix lifted off while you were trying to go into the pits. Otherwise, we would have seen Bahrain part two. But Redstone, coming back to your strategy, you decided to go on the hards despite starting on softs and despite a lot of drivers using a soft to medium strategy or a medium to soft. Just take us through that decision to not go for a medium tire. Why did you choose to do that?
No, given how much the tire deck was on the soft side, I didn't think I would have been like be able to like show my true pace with the mediums, and I knew it would fall off, and I realized Abhishek's and VFix were going to put on the softs. The plan was to like put on a tire that will last and give me that ideal performance throughout the race, and that's why I went with the hards. And I don't think I would have been able to like the mediums would have fallen off significantly. So it was a good decision. Actually, like the last lap, I think it was much faster than the softs. And but yeah, all in all, good result. Then.
All
Very
right,
happy.
and did you let Abhishek through in the second stint, or was
Yes, I
that
let him through. He
yeah?
was on the faster strategy, and I was just trying to stick with his DRS and pull away as a team.
Right, because we did not really catch it on the stream, but it seemed like that it was not something that you really fought, and you let him go and then stuck in his 1 second window to get tagged along. But all in all, brilliant race from you. I think Mercedes will take the constructors championship lead once the points are tallied. So congratulations on that. Suraj, any questions for Redstone before we move on to V6?
No, I think Fab Drive, buddy. It was an absolute pleasure to see you drive. Was a bit perplexed when you went on to hards. Quick question around the second stint. I mean, once you let Abhishek, is it like bit of teamwork going on with Abhishek keeping you in DRS, or were you up to pace just to not have any challenge from behind?
No, definitely there was a bit of team play as well. Initially, I didn't have the pace to match him on softs, but I don't think he was pushing it to the absolute limits. But I think that's a good choice that he didn't push like straight on. He managed his tires well, and that got his softs through the end. And so, of course, team play was there, and I wouldn't have done it any different.
All right, I think Fab Drive again, Merc 1-2. Couldn't have the day couldn't go better. So, uh,
Yeah, let's
great,
hope.
great race.
Yeah, let's hope that Merck can get a 1-2 tomorrow, but I don't think that's gonna happen. How times have changed that I'm rooting for a Mercedes 1-2 in real life. But coming to VFX, VFX, I hope you can hear us, and I hope your audio sharing is on. But 36 poles, 28 wins, 70 podiums, just being your 71st. But more importantly, you become the first IRL driver to cross 2000 points tallied over whatever number of seasons you have participated in, starting from season 2, I believe. Take us through your race. First of all, congratulations on a tremendous achievement, but take us through your race, especially, and the battle with Redstone you had, and your quali as well.
Yeah, thank you, first of all, Malav. I'll get back on that 2000 points thing, but first, just quali was okay. I think I made too many mistakes on my last lap. Definitely could have done because I really like driving in the rain on this game, but no practice. So it definitely makes it like difficult to know where the limit is. And I think I almost crashed like 3 times on my actual fastest lap, which was good enough for P2. And then in the race, I was just trying to have a clean one, to be honest. The last few races, ever since Monza, through Ascari, I've had just the worst like mixture of like luck plus skill issues. So I was just trying to get this car through to the end, and yeah, podium at the end of the day is. We'll take these for now, especially if, at least from the next race onwards. We'll be on vacation, so I can at least sweat the next four tracks after this. So yeah, we'll take these podiums. Shout out to Abhishek. He was mega quick today. He was just gaining time. I don't know how what he was driving, but like I think he turned. I think I basically settled for just trying to fight with Redstone around like midway through the first stint because I think Abhishek pulled like the second on me in like 4 laps, and I was like, well, okay, cool. Let's just settle for like smaller fights. And then at the end, I think, and he did a very good job at the end as well, just holding him up with DRS because I think I would have had a few chances had he just streaked ahead in that second stint. But anyways, congrats to the Merc boys. Very good teamwork. And yeah, that's basically my race.
All right,
Yeah.
Suraj, any questions for VFix?
Congratulations, Ufix, on 2000 points. That's a massive number. Uh, I think your race start, talk about your race starting, and that wasn't the best of starts that you would want to have, right? And what was your thoughts going on, I think, first 4 and 5 laps after the safety car?
Yeah, with the race start, I don't know what happened, but if you look back at it, I had like the Sebastian Vettel race start where the game like jumped me ahead at the five red lights and then it pushed me back, like a frame back, frame ahead and frame back for some reason. I don't know what coding this is, but that kind of spooked me. So after that, I was just like, let's just get through turn one and safely because it's Japan. We know what happens at turn one in Japan or the entirety of Sector 1 anyway. So I don't know what was happening. And then I just didn't get those medium tires heated up at all after the safety car restart. I don't know. That's something I'll have to work on because I'm still used to F122 and it's if you push, then your tires will overheat system. So maybe I just need to be able to learn to push a bit more in those first few laps to get the tires up. That's it.
That's well maneuvered, I would say, Vifix, and congratulations. P3, I think that was a well fought P3. There were some few battles that you had to win in throughout the race. So congratulations, and I hope Williams comes back strong because Merc are ahead now in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, hopefully we can always. It always helps when we go like the constructors always goes to the last race because then we can Malav can commentate on who choked and who didn't, and then hold it over
And
to
I
you guys
get
heads for like
to
5 seconds.
prepare my Excel with VLOOKUPs about
Yes,
points and everything. So,
yes.
yeah, but yeah, congratulations again, VFX. Is Abhishek's here? Because I don't, for some reason. Oh, yeah, he is here. All right, great. Congratulations, Abhishek. What a race! That was a mega drive, and yeah, I don't know. Just talk about your race because it didn't seem like you battled anyone except Redstone for a while, and especially the last stint. For how were you slowing down considerably to keep Redstone in your DRS, or did he have that natural pace? Because that's something which even Hirsch is asking us in the comment section. So take us through your quali as well because you did get pole. You're third of the season, I believe, and especially the second stint.
Yeah, firstly, congrats to Redstone and VFX. Great race. And yeah, I'd also like to say thanks to Jishnu for engineering helped a lot today. And going to quali, if it was a dry session, I would expect to be up there fighting for pole. But when it was a wet session, I didn't really think I'd be up for the pole because I'm not really good in the wet, especially on this game. And but somehow I was able to hook a lap, and I was surprised no one went faster. But yeah, in the end, it helped me. And at the race start, like Vfix said, like the game just bumped me forward and then stopped. Like I thought I had a drive through actually, but luckily it was nothing, and we were. It was a clean first corner, which was important, and then I was able to. Aditesh was helping me put like pressure on Vfix, and then once he got ahead of him, it's always better to have like your teammate right behind you when you're leading, and I was able to dictate the pace from there. And yeah, fairly consistent race. I didn't make any mistakes today, and I was just waiting to box after Redstone box because I didn't want to get undercut by anyone other than Redstone. So I was just checking the gap to Quick Killer and Ethan before my pit stop. Just was helping with that, and yeah, I managed to come out just behind Redstone, and then he let me through. And after that, it was like when my softs were at their best, I didn't really use them because I wasn't lifting off considerably, but because Redstone has natural pace, so I didn't lose a lot of time trying to keep him in DRS. We just dragged each other along, which was a really good team play. And yeah, we fixed it close in a bit during that phase, but once this like the first 3-4 laps, once the softs like the spark is gone, yeah, we knew the gap would just settle down, and we were just dictating the pace from there. And I'm just really happy for the 1-2 brilliant team result, and we tried to finish in formation there because you don't always get a chance to do that.
Yeah, you did try to recreate that Alonso Sebastian Vettel moment at the final corner, and I would say that that was a good sight to watch. But it was a bit disappointing to not see you do the sui and at the podium. But let's hope you do that when we play FIFA next. But Suraj, any questions for Abhishek before we close?
No, but Abhishek, what a drive. Absolute fan of your driving now. I've been following you for quite few races. And I mean, with those two guys, Vifix, the natural talent, and Redstone, by the way, the work that he has put in last few seasons, I think you are surely in the mix of being one of the quickest and the respectful drivers in IRL. So congratulations on that race. It was absolutely well managed and couldn't be happier. So congrats once again.
Thank you.
All right. With that being said, congratulations to all three of you once again. Thank you, Suraj, for joining me in the comms box. And we have a 1 week break. The next weekend there is not going to be any race, so the drivers can sweat it out,
Thank
as
God.
we fixed said,
Thank God.
and
Thank God.
come
I was
prepared.
not showing up.
Yeah, but
And
that's why we
also, I
kept.
would like to congratulate VFix on his achievement, 2,000 points and all these polls and wins. That's a tremendous feat, man. Great job. Keep
Yeah,
at it.
thanks. Yeah, I also ran out of fuel after 130 hour in this race. So that's
Right,
something I
I
forgot to
think
mention.
yeah, the
So
F1 World
thank you
Cars
to Ethan for not.
consume more fuel
Thank you to
than
Ethan for not.
and
Yeah.
thank you to Ethan because I think what happened to Jishnu, by the way. I'm not sure if anyone knows
I
what.
think there was contact between Baz and Jishnu in the safety car. That's
Oh,
what,
I
like, we
hope
haven't
that's
looked
not
at any. Yeah, it was
reported.
intense. So, yeah.
But if
Unfortunate for him. Yeah.
yeah,
But
all right.
fortunately for the Mercedes, he was a good race engineer. So,
Yeah, he is a good race engineer. He was a race engineer for us yesterday for me and Jen,
He got sent
and
off. He got sent off early from the Man City game just to race here. But like,
right. So that's it from the comms box. Thank you everyone for joining in and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We think that goes for you as well. But we'll see you next to next week for the sprint race as well in Qatar, and we have I think 3 sprint races out of 4 for the next 4 races. So that should be pretty much fun. Enjoy your rest of the weekend, guys, and good night, goodbye. And I hope Barcelona win this one.
All right then, guys.